is from around 2000 years ago. It is compiled of 196 sutras. These sutras are nothing other than pithy statements or sayings. They are short lines. You can imagine that when you attend a class and you take notes, it's not easy to take notes while the teacher is speaking. So what do? You make points. You make short points capturing the essence of what the teacher has said. And this is what the Yoga Sutras are. There are 196 short statements which are connected to each other like a thread. That's what sutra means. Sutra is a thread, and this 196 sutras or statements are linked together, and we must try to understand this reasoning or this link behind these separate statements. For our purpose today, I have chosen out of these 196 sutras, 74 sutras. And this collection is called the Essential Patanjali Yoga Sutras. That's what I call it. And the reason for this is that some of the later sutras are quite difficult to follow, and there is a grave danger that the entire discussion becomes completely intellectual. I have chosen 74 sutras which provide great insight into the path of meditation, into the mysteries of the mind. And they're very useful for those who wish to practice, or those who are practicing. The Yoga Sutras are very, very useful. It is unfortunate that these sutras or this text is probably one of the most misunderstood texts that we have in the yoga tradition. I believe it is so misunderstood because the translators of this text and the commentators of this text are just scholars. They are not practitioners. They are not coming from living traditions. They are scholars who have studied this from an academic perspective. They have translated something that they do not really understand. And the commentators as well have been primarily scholars. For this reason, this text is one of the most misunderstood texts, and we find here commentaries on the commentaries on the commentaries, and each one more complicated than the other. This was the reason that I was inspired to translate these sutras myself, and whilst I did that, I found that it is practically impossible to translate these sutras without the meaning of it getting lost. So what we have is a transliteration. I have kept the meaning of these sutras in such a way that people can understand that in a modern English and not in a very difficult scholarly or academic English. I have tried to use simple English so that